So we got some new 3DSs on the way, and by new 3DSs on the way, I mean a bunch of 3DSs on the way. So we've got a new 3DS, literally called the new 3DS on the way, that will come in the two sizes that the current 3DS comes in.
Has it been 4 years already? Because that seems to be when Nintendo starts to rehash their handhelds.
I feel like it's 3, but yeah, they're
3-4 years. Yeah.
I'm not the person to give you an unbiased opinion on this because I don't buy every new iPhone. I still have a 4.
I have 4S.
I don't buy new systems day of release. I don't buy a lot of new stuff, but I do love my Nintendo handhelds, and I will buy this new system.
You will?
I will.
Okay. Why?
Why? Because I like it, and because I want to. Because I like the fact that the extra stick is included.
You're getting a right analog stick. You're getting 2 new Z1 and Z2 shoulder buttons.
Those don't matter.
Faster CPU, built-in support for near field communication, NFC devices, and amiibo figurines.
Right. So that's interesting to me. The addition of the new stick, the C stick, is important to me because I'm very much looking forward to Monster Hunter 4.
And you need the right stick to use that too?
And you don't need it, but the game is very difficult to play without it. And I guess I'd rather just get the new system than add on a bulky stick attachment. Plus, I would like to play Xenosaga, which was one of the highest rated RPGs of the last generation with the Wii. People are kind of up in arms, some people, not all people. I've seen a lot of reasonable people. Because there's been much touting of the new processor and of this sort of stuff. How soon people forget that the DSi did the same thing. Announced itself in the same way, as having a better processor, and announced itself as having exclusive games. And how many exclusive games did the DSi have? I can name one downloadable title. I think that Xenoblade Chronicles being an exclusive is bigger than that, but the prices in that game are coming down. If you have a Wii, you can play it on your Wii, you can play it on your Wii U, but I will take it for the increased battery life, I will take it for the slightly larger screen, and I will take it for the C-Stick. Now, I don't expect everyone to agree with me on that. I just like Nintendo handhelds. I realize I am the unreasonable Apple fanboy when it comes to Nintendo handhelds. But I just don't think it's as big of a deal as people think. Nintendo's not stupid enough to split their fan base that way.
They're not going to come out with exclusive games in this. Now, of course, if you want to use the amiibos on Smash on 3DS, you want the new system.
Sure.
And obviously Nintendo knew that. And for this, I'm not going to fault Nintendo because when the 3DS originally came out a few years ago, they probably didn't foresee the amiibo thing back then. They probably didn't plan on it.
No.
Probably. That doesn't bother me with this that much. What bothers me is that, it's not a lot of people. The games that are coming out will not be able to take advantage of the people that actually bought the add-on, whatever they call that, where you can get the second.
See, I heard that it would.
No, they're not going to support that. With these new games, won't support that. Won't support that add-on second stick.
Really?
No. What was that called? The Pro?
The Circle Pad Pro.
Yeah. Do people even buy that anymore? Is that even available? Can you even buy that?
You can get it through Nintendo.
So I think that's upsetting some people.
But there weren't many games that made use of it. It was Revelations, Metal Gear.
So what they're saying is when people are programming for the new 3DS, they're not even going to consider that. That's fine. I mean, it's not a lot of games anyway. Who cares? Here's the thing. Nintendo 3DS sales have peaked. Now, they sold a shit ton, but they've peaked. So last year, they've sold 44 million units worldwide. That is a ton of units.
Someone in the comment, I think it was even Megan, and I like Megan because she watches, but she said something about is this a response to the abysmal sales of the 3DS? I don't think
they're not abysmal.
Yeah, the 3DS sales are not abysmal.
44 million?
Yeah.
For a console that's hugely successful, Sales though peaked. It said for the last quarter, 3DS unit sales fell 43% year over year to 820,000 units.
Well, that is not good. I mean,
that's not good, but the fact that you have 44 million to that point, you're reaching a saturation point.
Exactly. It's not so much that the sales are abysmal, it's that they're already in people's hands.
Yes. So, like what happened with the Game Boy, a few years in, 4 years in, You're like, all right, we'll do this color thing. Then we'll do the Game Boy
Right.
Pocket.
We'll try to give
We
more
have-
people more
Yes.
reasons to keep buying systems.
And we'll put out an NES version that'll be a
No,
GameStop.
no. Facts are wrong here. The new 3DS is completely separate. That's a different topic, which we will segue into. We
But
can segue
it's not separate in terms of we need a way to get people to buy another unit.
Right. Okay, so that's
That's
fine.
not.
But see, this is my thing. Yeah, that's kind of driving me nuts. Is Nintendo?
This is their version of the Game Boy Play It Loud.
Yeah, Nintendo is now putting out the NES version, which I actually don't like the look of at all. And the Persona Q version, which I think looks great because it looks like the Grimoire and it's got a tarot theme to it. But why am I gonna buy this 2 months before I can buy a new 3DS XL? I'm not going to. I'm sorry. I wish I would because it's really nice. But
because you can buy a Play It Loud and then get the Game Boy Pocket afterwards.
right, but I'm not gonna. Yeah, but
It's the same thing.
yeah. So I don't see. They did this with and this, I had arguments with, not arguments, but conversations with customers and maybe even with you. It was prior to the podcast, way prior. But when they announced the DSi, shortly after they announced the DSi XL, they announced the DSi XL the day after they announced the 3DS. To me, this is Nintendo making that same mistake. And
Well-
when I see handheld consoles come in, I see a lot of 3DS or DSi XLs come in because everyone just realizes that this was kind of pointless.
DSIs were terrible.
Overall, I will admit that was probably one of the
They got rid
stupidest
of-
decisions that I ever bought.
You bought a DSi?
because my DS Lite broke, so I got a DSi, but I didn't like the DSi very much.
They got rid of the
Slightly bigger screens.
They
That's
got
it.
they got rid of the Game Boy Advance compatibility.
Yep.
And then what did they really add? The
And
3D camera?
no,
What?
no,
Was
just
that
a single camera. It
Oh,
wasn't
just
3D.
great, a camera.
They added an eShop that was full of crap titles at
Oh.
the time.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's like the PSP Go.
So, I mean, this isn't... these will sell the Persona fans. I think the NES one is... I think it's humorous that GameStop is the exclusive
That's what.
retailer.
Yeah, I wanted to get into that for you. Like, no, facts. Why does GameStop get the NES version? Why?
Why don't I get the NES version
where's
exclusively?
the Luna NES version?
Yeah, that just strikes me
So-
as wrong and weird.
So would I buy the NES version if I did not have a 3DS XL? Yes, I would.
As opposed to just waiting 2 months for the new 3DS, which is going to be roughly the same price.
You think it's be the same price, or it's going to drop?
They've already
the rest?
announced. They said it's going to be about $200, which is
So they'll drop the rest.
20 bucks cheaper, $20 more expensive than the current model.
I don't know. If I'm not the type of person where would I actually use the features? If I'm not gonna get an Amiibo, why do I care? The faster processor, they're not gonna make games just for the 3DS, the new 3DS versus
Well,
the
now
old
I
one.
need to look into it because Monster Hunter 4 has already been released in Japan, and if Monster Hunter 4 can't make use of the C-Stick, then I'm not going to buy one. I mean,
See, there you go.
so I guess I have some research to do.
Unless they do a cool thing where maybe GameStop does, if you buy the NES version, we'll throw in a couple of download titles or whatever. That would be cool.
That would be neat. Yeah.
I'm trying to help you, GameStop. I'm trying to help you. I know you're listening. The employer that dealt with me when I bought the Mario Kart 8.
I'm going to pierce your skull. Don't help the enemy.